Example 1. Determine the eccentricity of the ellipse given by each equation. Now, the formula for the eccentricity is E equals the ratio of C to A. So it's going to be C over A. Now, if you recall from your equation of the ellipse, you had two different equations. You had the equation of the horizontal ellipse and the equation of the vertical ellipse. And you could determine by the denominator and the larger denominator which type of ellipse you were working with. So as you can see here, the larger denominator is 49. So 49 is going to be A. Your larger denominator is always A. And then the smaller denominator is always B. And I actually have to clarify that your larger denominator isn't A, it's actually A squared. And your smaller denominator isn't just B, it's actually B squared. And then we also had a formula that helped us determine C. And that formula was C squared equals A squared minus B squared. So if we're going to use the formula E equals C over A, we'll need to use the equation of the ellipse that they give us to find A. So we can see here that A equals the square root of 49, which is 7. And then we can also use this equation to help us find C squared, because we know that C squared equals A squared, which is 49, minus B squared, which is 36. So C squared equals 13, and then square root both sides to get C equals the square root of 13. So then once we put that into our formula, we get E equals the square root of 13 over 7. And then you can put that into the calculator to get an approximation, which is 0.52. And remember, your eccentricity determines how stretched or circular the ellipse is. The closer to 0, the more circular the ellipse, and the closer to 1, the more stretched the ellipse is. So this ellipse is going to kind of be a mid-range ellipse. It's going to be more just a general shape of an ellipse. And I know this is an ugly sketch, but whatever.